I had a discussion earlier this week on ESPNFC with Stevie Nicol, and we were talking about Neymar, we were talking about Koscielny, and the way that they're kind of behaving now. Player power, according to Stevie, has just got ridiculous. What's your take on it, first of all?
I agree fully. It's gotten to a level that I don't think I should need to anticipate, and I don't think it's good for the game. On the one hand, as much money as there is in the game, I truly believe that the players have to get their just rewards. They have to get their fair share. I don't see why the owners make all the money in the game. But at the same time, it's gotten to a point now where players earn so much in such a short period that they can then go on these ridiculous rants that we've been seeing and not train if they're not happy, and it doesn't really affect them. I remember back in my day, if you got a 2-week fine, you're not quite sure how you're paying your mortgage at the end of the month. Now all of a sudden, that's the least of your concerns.
Stevie came out with the same phrase back in my day that you've just used. Now, I know you played later than him, but how different is football now from when you two both played?
I mean, it's different. And maybe it's not fair to say that the game in its entirety is all of a sudden, kind of corrupted and believing in its own hype, and everybody's kind of, swamped by their own egos. We are talking about a few individuals here, albeit some very big names within the game. But for the vast majority, players continue to show up for training every single day, work as hard as they always do every single day, and recognize the opportunity that they have. They just better compensated for it. I just feel that when you have these negative stories at the top end of the game, it reflects very badly on even those players who are doing the things that we've always done.
Griezmann has signed for Barcelona, another big money move. How much of that is them signing the player, and how much of that is them signing the brand?
I think the two kind of go hand in hand. No, it's a consideration for many clubs. What you're getting as a player, and what that player also brings in terms of of international recognition. But at the same time, as much as we're talking about a lot of money, this has been going on for quite some time.
It has, and just at a different level.
At a different level. And that's the only difference here. The only difference is we're talking about how much money. But clubs for the last 30 or 40 years have been purchasing US players because they want a foot into the US market. Or Chinese players. Or I played with Yoshi Kagawa at Pompey, who was the Japanese #1 and captain, and they wanted a foot into the Asian market. That being said, you get a talented goalkeeper, but you also get one foot into that market. So it's been going on for quite some time. Again, just because of the money involved now, it feels a little bit different, but I don't think it's all that.
Do you ever speak to any of the old pros and kind of say, I wish we were playing now, or were you happy when you played?
Listen, you learn to accept, to be content with when you played and what you got. I was a goalkeeper back in, so I played through the 90s into the early 2000s.
You did all right.
I did all right. I was a bang average goalkeeper, and but just look 10 years earlier, a goalkeeper like David Seaman, who in my mind was unquestionably one of the best goalkeepers to have played this game, but he would not have earned as much money as I did, but just by virtue of the fact that he played 10 years earlier than me. So you get into that, well, I wish I'd played now. Well, I mean, we say it, but you don't take it seriously because you understand that, this is part of the process.
You just wonder when we're going to reach this glass ceiling, because as long as media rights continue to go up, players are going to get paid more.
Listen, we've been talking about the bubble bursting for quite some time, and the bubble just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And one of the beauties of it, and we work in live sports and that industry, is that there's no substitute for live sports. You are happy to sit and record almost anything and watch it at your leisure. Sport is the one thing that you want to see it happen now, because recording and watching it an hour later just won't do, and that's and that kind of continues to fuel this bubble that football is enjoying.
Shows no sign of bursting as well, but the difference is, at the top teams, it's not just the 11 players taking the field, there's a lot of brands as well.